Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is your mate Narlin here, back with another Skull and Bones video. As you can see, I'm looking a little bit tired, as the population of St. Anne gives me a bit of a cheer as I turn up. Today we're talking about the Helm, and I really want to do this video because I was talking to my mate Bud, who I also play this game with, and he doesn't really do Helm stuff. He's pretty new to the game, but he's managed to advance quite quickly to his final ship levels, level 14s, level 15s. But he's kind of skipped over one of the key aspects of the game, which is the Helm network. Now, the Helm network sort of opened up, I think it was after a season or so. And to activate that, I think you've got to do a mission with Yanita, who's right here. Hello, Yanita. We'll have a wee chat to Yanita. Oh, that bit of business is progressing very well. Thank you, Anita. Thanks for your time. All right. So once you've activated the Helm network, you go to your smuggler's hideout, which is right here. And this is for your deliveries. Okay, there's different things that you can do with the Helm, and what I'll do is I'll show you this quickly on the map and try and explain it as simply as possible. But effectively, your Helm network is a network of manufactories. If you're looking at the map here, the manufactories I own are the ones here. So the ones with these little helms on them with pieces of 8. The yellow parts are how many pieces of 8 I've got sitting at each location. So if we're looking at Fond de la Bay, which is this location here, it's a level 1 location. I can go and manage this manufactory. And what a manufactory does is that you use silver to produce whatever you want, really. So you can produce different things like cogwheels, wood tar, all sorts of things. However, I use these to produce pieces of 8. So 4.44 pieces of 8 per hour. To top this up, I just push X. You see down the bottom there, it says top up, push X. It gives you, well, 645 silver. And if you have a look on the right-hand side there, you'll see there's 281 pieces of 8 sitting there at the moment with a maximum of 500. That blue bar that you see is how much production is left with the money that I've already paid. Okay, so I'm going to top that up. And as you can see, that blue bar goes up to pretty much the 500 mark. Now, the other thing as well is that you can boost the production by supplying, see, juniper berries times 60. If you deliver 60 juniper berries to that location, it's going to speed up the production of that location. I tend not to do that. I just kind of let my manufacturers do what they do. And as you can see, there's 281 pieces of 8 sitting there waiting for me. So these locations, you will see from the map that I haven't actually taken out a huge amount of the locations yet. I've got 25 so far, but you can see all these unclaimed locations here that I can take over via a buyout or a hostile takeover. The next hostile takeover opportunity is in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. We're not going to be sticking around long enough to check what that is because we're going to be doing a supply run. So as you gain, if you have a look on the left hand side there, you've got an overview. It shows you that I'm producing 101 pieces of 8 per hour. That is online and offline. So if you go away from the game for a couple of days, it's still producing 101 pieces of 8 per hour until your manufactory runs out of production dollars. So you see this one here, you can see the blue line there, that will run out of production when it gets to that blue line. So again, I manage it, I top it up with there, and that'll keep going. So I can leave this for a couple of days pretty much. I go through and top up each location, and then it's just going to keep producing pieces of 8 for me. This is quite handy. This is what we call passive income, right? So it's passive income. All you have to do is top them up. When you get to a level 2 location, so over here we've got a level 2 location, I can actually assign a ship. So I've assigned a ship to that, And the way you do that is you click on it, you go R2 if you're on PlayStation, and you can assign one of your spare ships to basically take pieces of 8 to and from that location, and they just add to your total. You can also upgrade your manufactory as well. It'll cost me 3,000 pieces of 8 to upgrade that to a level 3, which will increase my production by 10% and the capacity to 1,000. So let's just do that for argument's sake. I've got plenty of pieces of 8. There you go. So I've upgraded that location to a level 3. You can go up to level 5 there, as you can see. So you can spend a lot of time taking over these locations. Once you've taken over these locations, it becomes, and start upgrading them, you're basically going to have unlimited pieces of 8. But what people have been doing is they have been farming locations like Fort Euston, which gives you 2,200 pieces of 8 per plunder. So a lot of people have been doing that, and it's kind of overpowered Fort Euston, and everyone's been kind of doing that for the past few weeks, as far as I know, in World Tier 2. So from here, what we're going to do is that's kind of how your manufactories work. Okay, that's just a brief outline on how your manufactories work. And I can go to those locations, pick up that supply. There's 138 sitting just south here. I can go pick those up and add them to my pieces of 8 collection. And every day or two I will go through and actually go for a bit of a sale. So I'll start at this location here, and I'll go to each factory, pick up all my pieces of 8, travel up here, travel up here, travel up here, until I've collected all my pieces of 8, and then I usually get 3,000 or 4,000 pieces of 8, and then I'll take those back to St. Anne to add to my pieces of 8 collection. So that is how the manufactories work. You can also upgrade these as well, and this gets a little bit confusing, but it costs you pieces of 8. If you're looking at this, you can see that I haven't really upgraded a lot of this season. I have been doing other things, but it gives you all sorts of benefits when you upgrade these locations. Improved distillery equipment, for example. You spend 400 pieces of 8, you can upgrade that to level 2. So the ones I recommend you upgrade are the Helm ones, the North or the Helm Empire ones, right? North and South. I'd probably do this one first if you're keen on building your manufacturing empire, because as you can see here, increase the maximum number of owned manufactories by 8. So you can do that. And as you go through, it costs you more and more pieces of 8. This costs 10,000 to increase the maximum number of owned manufactories. So eventually you get to your maximum. If we're having a look at the map here, we can see there's a hostile takeover. And you know what? We are going to join this event. It starts in 5 minutes. Now, the hostile takeovers that are red are PvP. Okay. Now, usually if you're doing a hostile takeover, it's normally just by yourself. Occasionally you'll get a second person turn up, in which case you'll have to fight them to take over that manufactory. Over here we've got this one is a effectively a PvE. A green one is where it's non-PvE hostile takeover, where you've just got to take over like a plunder style. You take over those locations. Now, either one of these locations is going to be good for me. I'm probably going to do that one, to be honest with you, because that's very, very close to St. Anne. Nice, easy deliveries to and from St. Anne from those locations. So we are going to go and do that, because it's only got about 4 minutes to go, and we'll probably even just sail over there as well. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about with the Helm opportunities, while we're waiting for that hostile takeover, is the deliveries. So this is where you go to do your ordered deliveries in your smugglers operations. So you can go to your distillery, and you provide materials. So for White Skull rum, to produce that, if you're looking at this, you can see I've got almost 4,000 sugarcane, so that's quite a bit. I'll just build 1,000 of those. So that's going to take 1 hour and 40 minutes to build or to manufacture that White Skull rum. And I can also build I can also produce white skull rum using juniper berries. So why not? We'll just do 1,000 of those. I really, at this stage in the game, I really have so many materials that I don't even bother doing these delivery runs. But for the purposes of this video, I just want to show you that you can. So I basically set that to automation. I'm just going to jump in there again just so you can see that. And you can see on the right hand side there that it's producing, you know, about one every, I don't know, 5 or 6 seconds. And with 1,000 to produce, it's going to take an hour and 40 minutes to produce all of those. So I'm just going to leave that to do its thing, and then I'll come and collect those at a later time. Then what you do is you go to your order registry here, and you can see there's orders. There's 4 orders there in the southern basin, and we can go do those soon. We're not going to do those now because what happens is that when you do accept one of these orders, your ability to fast travel is taken away. So the only way you can fast travel is to complete these orders or to abandon the order. Okay, so that's a bit of a trick for you. Once you accept those orders, you cannot fast travel. Alright. Looking at this, you've got to supply 60 white skull rum and you'll get 300 pieces of 8 for your efforts. So if you add up these 4 orders, 3 times 4 is 1,200 pieces of 8 to do that supply run. This is why Megafort Euston has been overpowered lately, is because for the sake of about 10 minutes at Megafort Euston, you can get 2,200 pieces of 8, whereas, you know, for probably 20 minutes in a supply run, you only get 1,200 pieces of 8. So not a lot of people have been doing supply runs. That's why I've built up quite a few supplies there, because I am not going to be doing supply runs in the near future until they make some amendments to, you know, how much silver you get, or sorry, pieces of 8 you get out of that. So we are going to set off. Thank you. And as I say to everyone, first thing you should do before you set sail, is make sure you've got plenty of room in your inventory. I'm just going to put all of that stuff into my warehouse for now, because I don't need it immediately. It's all for construction purposes or building purposes. A little bit of jade there. We will open this bag. It's a double silver weekend at the moment, so that 1,800 roughly converts to about 3,700. Tearing long gun, which I don't need. Always keep a little bit of armor and other guns spare if I need them. Alright, so I've got 27 slots available, and what we're going to do is we're going to physically sail our ship over to the manufactory opportunity, which is just here. Oh, I've missed it. There you go. What an idiot. I have missed the event, which is actually rather annoying because I thought I had plenty of time there. So, in light of that, we're going to turn around and we're going to do one of the deliveries. I was actually quite keen to show you that hostile takeover, particularly at that location, because that would have been handy for me. It's pretty self-explanatory though, people, because when you go to that location, effectively it's a time-limited takeover, so ships will be coming at you, and the whole idea is for you to stay inside the circle for the time frame allotted, and then once you got to 100%, that location becomes one of your new manufactories. So hostile takeovers happen every 10 or 20 minutes or so. There's usually always opportunities. If you I don't know why I've come all the way out here, because I could have just gone R3, held R3, and gone into the distillery here. So we'll go to the order registry. Now in World Tier 2, this is actually quite hard. So I'm going to accept all of these. If you don't have a level, a high level ship, I would probably recommend you do these in World Tier 1. And we're basically going to set sail straight away. And we're going to head to the first location. I am gutted I didn't get to that manufactory in time. But that's okay. We get to do this delivery together. Now this is also good because I can show you what doing a collection from a manufactory is like. So just over here we've got one of my manufactories, which is this location here. And what I can do is I can collect the pieces of 8 which have been manufactured. And you can see the circle there, and the yellow gives you a rough indication of how full that manufactory is as I bounce off a rock. Right, so 138 pieces, I'll collect that. And where it adds up is where you've got multiple locations. I basically sail around and collect my pieces of 8. And usually when I sail around, if you have a look at my map here, this location over here, I've got quite a few. Well, basically I sail around here, all the way up here, and then I usually collect about 3,000 or 4,000. Now we're heading to this location here. If I can just mark it correctly. As we intercept, now this is why World Tier 2 is particularly horrendous if you're doing these supply missions, because you get level 18 ships trying to take you out. But I am just going to sail right past these guys if I can. In the last video I did, I probably died about 10 times, so I decided, no, I'm actually going to do a new video, guys, because the last thing you guys want to do is see me die constantly. What I do love about this game is sailing. I really do love sailing. One of the chief complaints I have is that it's just too easy to fast travel everywhere. We should be made to sail more often than not to different locations. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look over the port side, you will see a thunderstorm. If you look over the starboard side, you'd see a beautiful clear day. Luckily enough, we're heading in a starboard direction. So this is our first location. The deliveries can be either to a location or to a ship. So the 2 supply runs that I have selected, 2 of the missions are going to this location where we're heading on the map, which is about 1,800 meters away. Oh, the Hubik twins are to our port side. We want to avoid those guys at all costs. Now that is a boss fight that we are going to be doing another day, not today. We're going to need a full fleet of ships to take out those twins. I did this a few days ago, and we basically had the whole server in here trying to take out the twins, and it took us a good 30 minutes to do it. And I had my mate Bud with me, our healer, to help us out. And I would like to do a healer video at some point as well. These level 18s are obviously stalking me here. I will like to do a healer video to talk about the healing ships at some point. And I'll probably get Bud along to talk about that because he's a specialist healer and he knows all the stuff there. I'm a DPS through and through. Right, we've made it to the location. Right, now we need to find... I think he's up here somewhere. You know what? If you come across a bonfire, it's good to throw powder at it. because you do get a 30-minute buff stamina boost. It's obviously a treasure location. I'm getting myself lost here, guys. Alright, here he is. The smuggler. Alright, so all we have to do is hand in that order. I've got the White Skull rum. And in this order. So that's given me 600 pieces of 8. So that's quite handy. I'm going to go back to my ship now. Excuse me. And we're going to collect the rest of the kit I need. Because the next location is not at a outpost. It's actually at a ship. So here we go. I think it's these two here. Should be in theory. Or was it? Let's check this. Always pays to check these things before you go charging off. So if we have a look at my missions, my journal. Here we go, roving order, black snuff and blue lotus opium. And so what we'll do is we will go back to our ship. Repair while I remember. For some reason I didn't think it was those two that we needed to do the delivery on, but it surely is. If you're looking at my inventory, yes, I have a lot of stuff. You can see that I haven't been doing any orders because, like everyone else, I have been farming Fort Euston for my pieces of 8. But I don't really need pieces of 8 at the moment. I do look like you always need pieces of 8. Particularly for those Helm upgrades and bits and pieces, but I haven't been hugely focused on it. I've just been enjoying the game, people. Enjoying doing the boss missions, the boss fights. It's been a lot of fun. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming, I think, next season and the season after. If you have a look at the Ubisoft plan for year 2, we do have a lot of cool things on the way, which will only help enhance the game. Tell you what, the weather mechanics, the sea mechanics, they're all just beautiful in this game. We are definitely trying to avoid fights here, guys, because in the last game, in the last video that I was attempting to do, I just kept dying over and over again. So that looks like it's a convoy over there. Yep, that's a convoy that's about to finish, I would say. And you can tell because if you have a look at the map, you can see the convoy there. And they've got 3,000 meters before they've reached their destination. So if you come across a convoy, I think it's always important to check how long that convoy's got to go before you engage it, because with 3,000 meters to go, there's no way you're going to sink those 3 ships. And I'm literally going to pass right across them. Or crash into them. Of course, the game thinks that I'm interested in doing this, which I'm not. So the second deliveries here that we're doing is to a ship. and we will need to avoid getting into combat. Oh, this ship, this guy wants me, doesn't he? He wants a piece. It's going very, very fast. There you go, he can back off. I know a lot of you guys watching the videos probably want to see the combat, but the purpose of this video is to show you the Helm deliveries. I am planning on doing some videos on boss fights, which will be really interesting. Particularly when you've got a whole server there of people. It's definitely something that people will enjoy to see. Now we're just going to have a look at these ships in the distance here. We are going to try and avoid these fellas. So if we have a look there, that's the ship that we're going to. You can see he's highlighted with the helm there. And he's just sitting there waiting for us. Always like to pick up random loot sitting in the ocean if I come across it. Always helps to have room in your inventory. Oh, let's do it. Why not? There we go. Almost one hit. There you go. The level 12s don't really stand a chance, to be fair. Alright, as you come close you can see you can interact with the triangle. And then you can submit your orders, and that gives us another 600 in total pieces of 8. So there you go. That is how you do your Helm delivery orders. And obviously I've given you a bit of an overview as well as how the Helm manufactories work. Would be good to show you all as well things like the hostile takeovers. Now I don't think we've got a hostile takeover active at the moment. Oh, there's a couple here. So what we might do, since we've got a little bit of time, it starts in 5 minutes. We're going to go and do this hostile takeover. So we can fast travel. The good thing about these is you can fast travel to the locations. This is another good location to be doing a hostile takeover because it is very close to St. Anne. So it's nice and easy to go and pick up these pieces of 8. We'll just go over to the helm there. So you can see that Tambry Foundry. It is currently not one of my manufactories, okay? Whereas the lumberyard here to the east, that is one of my manufactories. So effectively, what we've done is we've joined and we've reached the event area. So you can have, what's this, up to 3 participants in this particular hostile takeover. Oh, there you go. Somebody's plundering Fort Euston. Now, in one of the earlier seasons, I actually had pretty much all of Madagascar, which is this island, this big island here. All the manufactories, pretty much. Now, what happens if you look at over at your left-hand side there, you can see how many locations I've got. I've got 25 out of 34 available at the moment until I buy some more slots. And I've got 17 out of 81 trade routes, and I've got 5 out of 13 ships who are at my level 2 manufactories. So the more locations you get, the more trade routes you get too. So you see this trade route here. Once I take this location, this trade route will now become one of mine, and that actually increases my pieces of 8 production. So the more trade route connections you make, the better it's going to be. And you can see your trade routes are highlighted in yellow. And I don't have a huge amount of connections because I haven't really been focusing on the manufactories this season. But the hostile takeovers are good. It gives you an opportunity to come and, yeah, basically come and take out a location, get involved in some fighting. This is a PvP, being a red location. Hopefully nobody else turns up because I don't want to get embarrassed and lose in a fight. So we've still got 3 minutes to go here. Keep explaining a few things in here. What I would say, what I haven't done this season is concentrated on a specific area. So you can see I've got piecemeal manufactories all over the place. I haven't really been focused on one particular area. I would recommend trying to focus on getting a full area. So you can see this here. I actually own the southern African coast, every single manufactory in this area. So I've got this whole area covered. This is one of the locations where I do farm quite a lot of my pieces of 8. And as you take out these locations, so this will be the 3rd out of 4 locations here. So Palisade Bay, if I took out that location, then I would own this whole section here, which is Northeast Red Isle. Now, you can actually end up with a lot of cash with these manufactories. It takes a while to set up, but it is effectively passive income. And if you don't want to worry about pieces of 8, this is what you want to be doing. So early on in the season, because these reset every season, if we have a look now, a snapshot in time, we have 15 days remaining in this season, right? So all of this stuff's going to reset at the end of the season. So to some degree, me doing this is kind of a bit of a waste of time because we've got another season coming up in 15 days' time. But the start of next season, what I'm actually going to be focused on a lot of is doing these, getting my manufactories as early as possible in the season so I can start building those pieces of 8 as soon as I can. As we've got a minute to go, so what's going to happen is once this hostile takeover starts, it's going to come up with a little percentage bar, and we're going to have, I don't know, about 7 minutes or so to take over the location, and we've got to stay within the boundaries of the location. So you can see over there the green, that's the boundary. I've got to stay within that boundary, and there'll be another green area over there where I need to stay inside. As always, people, if you're liking this video, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I don't just play Skull and Bones. If you have a look at my channel now, I've got some playthroughs for Silent Hill, which I played earlier in the year, and I've got a full game playthrough for that. So, if you want to enjoy that, do that. Also, I play a lot of Hell Let Loose, and you'll see some Hell Let Loose videos on there as well. This is general gaming. So at the moment it is Skull and Bones, but for other games I will be doing more videos. So please like and subscribe as we start the hostile takeover. There's a tiny little ship there. Oh, look at him. Isn't he cute? He's so little I can't shoot him. Now, also the percentages go up quite quickly as well. If you have a look on the right hand side, I'm up to 10% completed already. Now that'll go up further the more ships you take out. Actually, I'm not going to bother boarding him. I'm just going to take him out. So there you go, I've jumped up to 18% complete now, and I'm going to take out this tower. I'm really loving these broadside guns, they're pretty effective to be fair. You can die doing these things. As you might have seen, my health was quite low there for a second. Probably because I'm stationary. Oh, those long guns do some damage. So now we're up to 36% complete. And there's more ships that are just going to keep coming until we complete this. Oh, I haven't been bracing and look, I'm going to die. And I can't, I've got another 40 seconds before I can use another health kit. So I'm basically going to run away as much as I can. Right to the edge of the location. And hopefully I don't die. I don't have my healer here with me, my healing ship, which is my mate Bud. Oh, there you go. That little tiny ship took me out. Shows the importance of bracing, guys. Managing your health. It is World Tier 2, so it's not going to be easy even for a level 15 ship like myself. Alright, so I'm sitting on 57%. I'll go and collect my my loot after we've finished this. 60% through, we've got 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go. Well, my aim wasn't that good. That was better. To be honest, I'm quite lazy nowadays because I normally kick around with Bud, so I tend not to heal myself too much. You can see all these ships here. As we're up to 80% now. So this will be over pretty shortly. And this is why I love these broadside cannons, because when you've got a whole bunch of ships bunched up like that, it can be pretty devastating. Oh, we better heal. Once again, I'm just getting overwhelmed by ships. %, we're almost done. Oh, look at that. Just getting absolutely hammered by these ships. Ah, there you go. With less than 2% to go, I've been killed again. So that's a little bit mildly frustrating, guys, but it's okay. It is what it is. We'll just respawn and finish off this takeover. There you go. 96% done. There you go. So that takeover is complete. So as you can see, Tambury Foundry is now yours for completing the takeover. So we're going to get out of here. Once we're away from all these ships, I'll show you exactly what that means as I collect my loot on the way out. This is a location I spent a lot of time on early game. Oh, look there. World Tier 2, guys. Ordinary ships take you out. And that's great. That's what you want. You want it to be a challenge. I spent some time in World Tier 1 last week, and it was way too easy. So I do appreciate how much harder World Tier 2 can be. And look at all those ships, you can see them on the map there. I'm not going to engage them, because we're going to go back to base. Right, here we are, back at St. Anne's. So, let's have a look and see if we have a look at my... And now that location is now mine. As you can see, it's got a red... it's idle, because it needs to start production. So 1,440 silver to start production. We're going to pay that. So that's going to start producing for me now that I've taken that location. So just to recap, guys and girls... what we've seen today is we've had a look at the roving orders, so the roaming orders or the roving orders through the Helm. We've had a look at the Helm. We've had a look at doing a hostile takeover. So hopefully this little education video on how the Helm works has been helpful. As I've said before, please like the video. Please feel free to subscribe to the page, and by all means put some comments in. Comments help the algorithm, which boost the video up. So please do all of that stuff. It's been a pleasure bringing this one to you, and we'll see you on the next video.